going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and in today's video, I will be unboxing, setting up, and reviewing the 7-foot-tall, massive Howling Werewolf sold exclusively at Biglots and made by Techie Toys. Now, I want to give a huge thank you to Biglots for sending me this item. I actually think I'm really going to love this one a lot. People are saying this might be the new best werewolf animatronic of all time, so let's open it up to find out if that's true. So here's what you see when you first open the box, and yeah, this guy looks like he's about to be an absolute beast of an animatronic. We have his entire head, and I'm guessing that's all attached to his torso as well. His head is wrapped in bubble wrap, so we'll get that out in just a little bit. But yeah, this seems like an absolute crap ton of stuff in this box. This is a massive animatronic with some crazy animation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it, so let's take everything out. First thing we have out of the box is the complete torso and head. Let's get this bubble wrap off. All right, so here is the werewolf himself. I'll bring him up for a closer look. So here is the werewolf face now, and get a look at that. His eyes are a little bit derpy, admittedly, but this is a huge head, and you have his entire clothes and torso pretty much attached to this here, which is pretty cool. I do like the face on this guy a lot, though. Look at those sharp, nasty-looking fangs. Absolutely awesome. Next up, we got his pants out. I will take these out later when we begin to set up. Here we have his control box. So this is actually a leg pull. So really interesting that the control box is attached to the leg here. You'll see why in a little bit, but I think that's just a cool fact about this guy. Here we have his leg pull. No control box on this one, just a standard leg pull, but really good weld quality. This feels really, really solid. And then here's the base. Absolutely massive. Now the next thing we have to take out is pretty much a box within the box here. We have the feet, waist frame, module, spine poles, arm poles with foam, hands, back wire frames, and springs in here. So let's take this out and see everything that is inside. All right, let's begin taking everything in here out. Here are the arm poles with foam. Here are the hands. Let's get these out of the bag. Here we have one of his paws now. Look how gnarly that is. I love the fur on there. That looks really cool. And the hand mold is also pretty neat as well. Pretty standard stuff for a werewolf though. Nothing too special, but it gets the job done. Next we have the feet. Let's take these out of the bag. Here are one of the feet now, and wow, this is awesome. Take a look at those gross looking toenails. And this is just a huge foot, honestly. The mold is great, it looks pretty realistic, and of course I do like the addition of the fur. This is gonna look awesome when he's all set up. Here we have a part of his mechanism. This is kind of what's gonna be launching him into the air, I guess. This is really cool though. The weld on this is absolutely insane. I mean, this feels like really high quality, durable steel here. But I guess we'll have to test out whether that's true or not when we actually fully set him up. Here we have some back brackets. This is to kind of pad him out a little bit. You know the drill with these. Here we have a whole bunch of poles and springs. Let's take these out of the bubble wrap. Here are all the poles, and interestingly enough, there's actually a wire attached to this one. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to come into play, but that is really interesting. And of course, here we have the springs. One of my favorite parts of any prop, just because they're so much fun to play with. But this is what is going to make his jump scare so violent, as these strings pull him backwards to howl at the moon. Absolutely awesome, but here you go with the springs. And now the very last thing in this box is the actual mechanism. Let's take this out. And here we go. Very, very reminiscent of Mr. Dark's jump scare mechanism. You have all metal gears, it appears. That is really, really nice. The plastic gears really don't do a good job. They tend to break easier. It does look like there's one or two in there, but the majority of them are indeed metal, which is always nice to see. All right, well, that is everything out of boxes number 1 and 2. So let's begin the setup. So for every setup I've ever done, we start with the base, and then you attach these 2 poles to the back of the base. That's to sort of balance him out when he's actually flying backwards. Then you want to put the feet on, and then the leg poles. It's important the leg poles go into the right spot here. Be sure the control box is on the inside of the thigh. Next, you put on the middle bracket piece. This is basically sort of the mechanism here. And then you're going to want to attach the actual pole to it now with the connector on it. Next come the springs, and this part's a little bit difficult. They do have a mighty amount of resistance on them, so just be careful. Next comes the actual mechanism. There's a little pin you have to remove and then slide it in, and after that you attach it to the top connector there and make sure you have the wire connected. Now comes the werewolf himself. The torso is actually pretty light, and it's just as easy as snap locking it right in. Next come the arms. You just want to slide them right up the sleeves. Next comes the back brackets. Next come the hands. And after that, you're just going to want to attach all the wires now. There are quite a few, and it did take me a while to find all of them. Once you do that, you're just going to pull up his pants and make him look nice. All right, everybody. Now that the Howling Werewolf is all set up and looking absolutely gigantic. I mean, this dude is enormous in real life. He is towering over me, and he is super scary looking, believe me. Anyways, I'm really excited to see this guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug him in, and then we'll all react to his demo together. It's going to be awesome, and then after that, I will review him. So let's do it. Let's plug him in. All right, so I just plugged him in, and he resetted now, and he's now hunched over in his position, ready to attack. I'm really scared. This jump scare is going to be crazy. I have a massive weight on the base. Anyways, I'm going to turn him on, and we're going to see him go. So give me one moment. And here he goes. Oh, look at that. Here he goes. Whoa. Wow. That is crazy. That is awesome. Absolutely insane. I love the mouth movement. I mean, it looks cool, obviously, but the real bread and butter of this one is how he throws himself back. It is just so cool. It's a really good jump scare. Let's do him again. All right, I backed up to give you the full view now. Let's do it. There he goes, the mouth. Shoot, stand right in front of this guy, and then boom. Wow, he gets really tall too. That has to be probably taller than 7 feet. I don't know. I feel like that's probably around 8 feet tall when he's at his maximum height there. Awesome though. There he goes, he's resetting. He has a pretty quick reset time too, which I am pleased about. He's not taking forever like some other Techie Toys jump scare animatronics. It is a pretty quick reset, which is nice, but this is awesome. Let's review him now. All right, everybody, let's start talking about the 7-foot Howling Werewolf now. And I will get started with his price, $300 if you manage to find him in a Biglots. I'm pretty sure at this point in the season, I am pretty sure this guy is all sold out at every Biglots in the entire country. And you can't buy him online anymore, unfortunately. So really, you're not probably going to be able to get this guy if you want him this late in the season. But $300 is a pretty fair price, I'd have to say. I think it's a little bit on the expensive side, though. I do think maybe $250, $275 would be a little bit better, but you are getting a really intense and absolutely awesome werewolf animatronic here for sure. I really like the details. Let's start talking about that next. Take a look at the teeth now. Really cool teeth. I love the mouth too. The teeth are in fact like sort of a softer material, so if you stick your hand in it, won't actually hurt when he's biting. I do like the face a lot too. The eyes of course light up, and I think that's a very welcome addition for this guy. Though the only thing I don't like about the eyes are the pupils. They kind of look derpy. I think it was just a solid white color that would honestly be a little bit better, a little bit more creepy. Or if his eyes were kind of angled in a little bit more so they're looking like directly at you, if you know what I'm saying. Instead, they're both looking off to the side a little bit. It looks a little goofy, but I think at the end it's still a really intimidating looking werewolf. I also really like the fur color for sure. The brown is pretty cool. And I like the color of his, what do you call it? Fleece, I guess. The plaid shirt he has on. And I do like the ripped details here. The build quality on this guy is also crazy good. Every single pole on this guy is like a thick metal. It's honestly some of the best build quality I've ever seen, and I've been running him for probably like 30 activations at this point, and he's still running very smoothly. I do think the quality on this guy is really outstanding. The animation and audio are also great as well. I love the jump scare here. It is probably one of the most fitting jump scares you could put onto a werewolf. He basically rips open his shirt to howl at the moon. Really smart on Techie's design team's part there for sure. Super unique, super cool. I absolutely love it. Of course, the mouth animation is a welcome addition as well. The only problem with the mouth animation is that since his face is plastic, you have this sort of seam there where the mouth actually goes in and you kind of are able to see like the plastic. That is fake and is plastic, unfortunately, but I think that is all right because I mean, I would rather have a plastic face than a latex one so it doesn't dry rot and it won't be deformed either. Overall, I have to say this gigantic 7-foot Howling Werewolf is without a doubt worth it in my opinion. Answer the question if this is the best werewolf animatronic of all time, I would have to say it is definitely a top contender. I don't want to give a full answer to that just yet because I feel like there are still a lot more werewolf animatronics to come, and the werewolf animatronics we have now, probably almost 20 to 30 of them, if we're counting just the major retailers, have been really, really good. But I have to say, this guy is definitely coming in at the top of the list for me. If it's at the tip top, I don't know. I do have the Howler as well, which is just an all-time classic in my opinion, and is very tough to beat. But in terms of scale and just awesomeness and epicness, this guy definitely wins. All right, everybody, well, that is it for my unboxing, setup, and review of the Howling Werewolf from Biglots, made by Techie Toys. And once again, I highly recommend this guy, if you are able to find him, that is. He definitely is sold out by now at probably every Biglots in the country. But hey, if you're lucky and you walk into a Biglots this late in the season and find this guy, I'd say go for it. Anyways, everybody, now enjoy the full demo.